Hi everyone, my name is Jose Antonio Santillan. I am actually studying biomedical engineering, and I am here to talk about the project I have been working in during summer one, which is called Establishment of a Protocol to Develop New Products. During summer one, I have had the opportunity to collaborate with a company called Novingertos, which is here in Mexico City, and my boss is called Agustin Carrillo Garcia. Well, first of all, I'd like to start by talking about the project description, and this is important because it is like the justification of the problem or why my project is important. And I'd like to say that the main goal is that this project consists on gathering information in order to organize it and be able to present it to institutions such as COFEPRIS. Here in Mexico, COFEPRIS is like the leader on validations related to medical devices, and that is why it is so important to present the correct documentation to COFEPRIS, because if you are working with medical devices, which is what my company does, you may want to have all the certifications and the correct regulations in order to sell or manufacture your devices, your medical devices. And well, as a general idea, I can say that information and the process of documentation is important because it is essential for the validation and development of new products. Also, as the course states it is important to limit the objectives, goals, and achievements on the project we are working at. And for example, here I decided to divide it into three. First of all, develop protocols in order to document new products following the corresponding standards and be able to report them to COFEPRIS, which was what I have been saying. COFEPRIS is the most important institution to which Novingertos gives documentation to in order to validate their products and to see they accomplish correctly the quality and all the standards and laws that regulate the use and manufacture of medical devices. Also, as a complementary activity to my practices, I have also been working in laboratory, and I have been helping on classifying samples, because most of the times projects are started by students or by workers at Novingertos, and they have like a huge amount of samples that they haven't organized for years. And when I talked to my boss about starting to work with Novingertos, he told me like, oh, I would like to have someone who can help me to work with validation and documentation, but who also knows about laboratory classification, laboratory work. So this is like a complementary activity that I decided that was important to be reported. Also, as a number three, the elaboration of formats to follow up the products in process of validations that request information to continue with the process. Okay, this is important because most of the times the documents that state what is needed to be told or reported to COFEPRIS are very extensive, are like more than 50 pages or so. And in this way I have implemented like using tools such as checklists or some tools that make it easier to read what is needed or what is missing in order to report to COFEPRIS. As I was telling you, some of the goals that include this project are standardize the processes to ensure everything is contemplated, learn to apply norms to the production of medical devices, being able to elaborate reports that contain relevant information, and work with other areas of the company to access the traceability of information so that complete documentation folders are generated. Especially this point is quite important because at Novingertos, the traceability of information is quite essential for a product to be developed, because what I've been told is that the way they organize like the file names and so other important data on documents is what ensures the traceability of information. And what is the traceability of information? Traceability of information is that if I have a certain document related to a product, I can quickly check on my database in order to check a certain document is available due to the nomenclature of the document. And also, talking about the first 2 points, it is important to standardize protocols and to know, and as I was saying before, to have like checklists or tools that make it easier to know what is missing or what is necessary to state like a little bit better when it comes to documentation, because nothing can be forgotten to be reported when it comes to COFEPRIS. And also, as I was saying, as a complementary activity, I am also learning how to implement and manage reliable databases. And well, the technical specifications, as I have been saying during these presentations, is that the most important institution to which Nouengertos reports their documentation is to COFEPRIS. And also I consider important to say that all employees and the company itself has been certified with ISO 9001 certification. And a thing that I've liked a lot about this company is that they are quite interested on investing on their employees' knowledge. And I consider this important because every certain time they have like different preparation on certain matters or seminaries or so. Okay, the regulations are that all medical devices that are designed, produced and manufactured by Nouengertos follow ISO 13485, the official Mexican norm, which is NMX GT002, which calls about the implementation and the manufacturing of medical devices, which I consider that is very complete because it states like how to start from scratch when it comes to developing medical devices, and it is a very general document. I mean, you can apply it even if you are manufacturing something like very simple or something more complex, such as Nouengertos does. And also, the company follows the American Association of Tissue Bank Standards, which is very important due to the fact that as they work with human cadaveric tissue, they should follow some certain ethical, environmental and so other rules in order to achieve a correct way of working with tissues. Well, my contributions to the project have been that by analyzing how the company works, how they documentate, and how they report, and how they have reported on different and previous projects, I can see the deficiencies they have had before. Because I mean, that does not mean that they have uncompletely reported to COFEPRIS. It only means that they have reported complete, but some of the documents have been lost or they haven't been kept like in the correct way. So that has been my contribution, to be sure that folders and binders and so are complete and contain any document that can be used in case the product that has already been validated needs to have an improvement or any revision by another by third parties or so. Well, learning. What I've learned during my time at Nouengertos is that, as my boss says, if it is done but it is not documented, then it is not valid. I mean, in the area of sciences, you cannot take your you cannot decide whether to report or not some stuff because you are working directly with human bodies and with patients, and everything that is done to the product or any special process or treatment that a medical device follows should be reported in order that the patient is able to know whether if it's going to work or not only the patient, but so that doctors can know if the product is going to work correctly or not, depending on the patient's needs. Well, conclusions. My conclusions are that new methods have been proposed in order to organize the information, and as they have been applied to some other, as I was saying, previous products which were manufactured time ago, some special needs and some ways to optimize spaces or resources or to plan better a project from scratch have been implemented. For example, I've been working with my boss on standardizing protocols, and we found that when you plan like through process diagrams or using other tools, you can also prevent whether if the production can satisfy the needed number of samples or the needed number of final products or so. And also in this way, the documentation can guarantee that the necessary standards are met in order to achieve quality and special requirements. And also, as a final point, I'd consider it important to say that protocols have been successful since they have allowed to visualize the efficiencies, as I was saying before, in past manufactured products. Well, that'll be all. Thank you for your time, and these are some of the references I've been using on my reports in case you want to know more about documentation or certain laws or so. Thank you.